Hi, I'm Jim Hole. I'm here at the Enjoy Center. Bunch of orchids behind me. Either you're an orchid lover right now or you will be an orchid lover once you come and see the orchids. Orchids are one of my favorite flowers, and I like them not just because they have very interesting patterns and the fact they are quite easy to grow, contrary to popular belief, but the fact that they've got some interesting history. Now, there's an orchid in Madagascar that was brought to Charles Darwin's attention many, many years ago. And there's a particularly long throat or nectary on the flower. And orchids are pollinated by either bees or moths. So Darwin said there has to be a particular moth with a very long, let's call it tongue, or proboscis is the proper name for it. He says it has to exist because to pollinate that orchid, there has to be a moth like that. Nobody ever found a moth, but Charles Darwin insisted there has to be a moth. So 130 years after his death, they found the moth in Madagascar with this 11-inch long tongue that was designed to extract nectar and pollinate the orchids. So that's the thing about orchids that I love. They're beautiful flowers, but it's the rich stories behind them. It's incredible. Many of them, again, are easy to grow. They just need the basics like every other plant needs. Like I have the Phalaenopsis orchids here, and guess what? You put them in your house, they're gonna have flowers lasting for a very long time. You grow them in a reasonable light temperature. You don't have to repot them very often because they don't like to be in conventional soil. And if you're lucky, and you do it right, you can have a second little stem coming up from the orchid and have a second display. And if you're really, really lucky, down the road you'll have another little spike coming up with more flowers. It's like a drug, the orchids. Once you get into orchids and you see the incredible array and displays of orchids, you can't help but get hooked.